the trickster, a figure as old as storytelling itself. Found in cultures across the globe, this archetype serves as a boundary breaker, a rule bender, and a shaper of worlds. Whether it's the sly fox, the mischievous god, or the clever raven, the trickster exists to remind us that life is not bound by simple rules. The trickster defies convention, challenges authority, and thrives in the liminal spaces between order and chaos. Today, we explore how the trickster archetype plays a vital role in mythology, from Native American folklore to African, Norse, and even Greek traditions. The trickster can be both hero and villain, wise and foolish, creator and destroyer. But at the core, this figure serves one purpose: to disrupt the natural order and force us to see the world in new, unexpected ways. Let's start with Coyote, a famous trickster figure in Native American mythology. In many tribes, including the Navajo and Lakota, Coyote is a shapeshifter, constantly shifting between hero and fool. Known for his cunning, he often gets himself and others into trouble, yet somehow his antics often lead to unintended wisdom. For instance, one famous tale tells how Coyote brought fire to humanity. The gods had selfishly kept fire to themselves, hidden away on a distant mountain. But Coyote, with his quick wit, sneaked into the gods' realm and stole the flame. Though his fur was singed, he succeeded, bringing warmth and light to humankind. In this sense, he mirrors Prometheus, a Greek figure we'll meet later. Coyote's stories teach us about the duality of existence, how trickery and mischief can sometimes lead to essential, life-giving results. He embodies the chaos that disrupts the natural world, but also brings about growth, change, and new possibilities. Across the world in West Africa, we meet Anansi, the spider god, a master manipulator and storyteller. Anansi's tales were passed down orally for generations, serving as both entertainment and moral instruction for the Akan people of Ghana and other cultures across the African diaspora. Like many tricksters, Anansi outwits stronger, more powerful figures using only his cleverness and knowledge. In one well-known tale, Anansi set out to collect all the world's wisdom. After years of gathering, he stuffed it all into a gourd and decided to hide it high up in a tree so no one else could access it. But no matter how hard he tried, he couldn't climb the tree with the gourd tied to his belly. His son, seeing him struggle, suggested he tie the gourd to his back instead. Frustrated that someone else could outsmart him, Anansi realized that true wisdom is meant to be shared, not hoarded. Anansi's stories remind us that wisdom comes in unexpected ways, and sometimes even the trickster can fall victim to his own tricks. His role as a creator of stories also hints at a deeper truth. Anansi's web connects the dots of existence, binding people, events and ideas across time and space. Chapter 3. Loki, the shapeshifter of Norse mythology. Loki, the infamous Norse god, is perhaps one of the most complex tricksters in mythology. As a shapeshifter, Loki can take on many forms: animal, human, or god. He is both friend and enemy to the Aesir, the gods of Asgard. His most well-known act of mischief was when he tricked the blind god Hoda into killing his own brother Baldur, which set in motion the events of Ragnarok, the end of the world. But Loki's tricks aren't just about causing chaos for chaos's sake. He often acts as a catalyst for transformation. One of his most famous stories involves him cutting off the hair of Sif, the wife of Thor. When Thor threatens to kill him, Loki promises to replace the golden hair, and in the process he creates an alliance with the dwarves, resulting in the creation of many magical gifts for the gods, including Thor's famous hammer, Mjolnir. Loki's actions constantly blur the line between friend and foe. In fact, some scholars argue that Loki represents the inevitable force of change, the destruction that makes way for new creation, much like a wildfire that clears the old to let the new grow. Chapter 4. Hermes, the messenger of the gods. While many tricksters are depicted as cunning and sometimes malevolent, Hermes, the Greek god of trade, thieves and travelers, brings a different energy. From the moment of his birth, Hermes was a trickster, As an infant, he stole Apollo's cattle and, in a clever move, covered his tracks by making the cattle walk backward. When Apollo confronted him, Hermes charmed his way out of trouble by offering a lyre he had just invented. What sets Hermes apart from other tricksters is his role as a bridge between worlds. He is the guide of souls to the underworld, the messenger between gods and mortals, and the god of transitions and boundaries. Where other tricksters create chaos, Hermes brings clarity, acting as a conduit for communication and understanding. Hermes shows us that the trickster's gift is not only disruption, but also innovation. Without Hermes, the world of the gods and mortals would remain separate, divided by misunderstandings and barriers. Conclusion: the trickster's enduring legacy. Whether it's Coyote's fire, Anansi's stories, Loki's chaos, or Hermes' cleverness, the trickster archetype endures because it speaks to a fundamental truth of human experience. That life is unpredictable, rules are not absolute, and wisdom often comes from the most unexpected sources. These figures remind us to question the status quo, to embrace change, and to laugh in the face of absurdity. The trickster is not just a character in ancient myths. The trickster lives on in our modern stories, in the tricksters we encounter daily, those who challenge authority, question the rules, and force us to look at the world in a new way. They might be the comedians, the revolutionaries, or even the children who ask why, when no one else will. In every culture, every generation, and every corner of the world, the trickster is there, waiting in the shadows, ready to remind us that nothing is ever as simple as it seems. Boundless fables, where stories are boundless and myths come alive.